Suspect in custody after that long standoff. ABC's Ryan Owens is in the Houston suburb of Spring, Texas, with the very latest. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning to you, Robin. Behind me is the home where this happened. 7 people here shot, 5 of them children, 1 just a 4-year-old boy. And what happened after the gunman left this house? Well, things got even more dramatic. A dinner-time car chase through the crowded streets of suburban Houston that ends in a standoff with a gunman in a cul-de-sac dotted with huge houses. Frightened families forced out of their homes for nearly 4 hours. The mayhem started at 6 p.m. Detectives say 34-year-old Ron Lee Haskell opened fire in the town of Spring, north of Houston. Authorities say he shot 5 children plus 2 adult family members who were looking after them. A violent end to a domestic dispute he was allegedly having with his estranged wife who lives out of state. Only 1 victim would survive, a 15-year-old girl. Police say she called 911 despite being shot in the head and told them the gunman was on the move.
The car has yet to be stopped.
She probably prevented more bloodshed. At 6:17, police catch up with Haskell in this silver car after chasing him for 4 miles before throwing down a spike strip.
The left rear tire is flat on the car.
His tires blown, snipers corner him in that cul-de-sac.
It's just a terrible thing. I don't know what could have happened.
At 8 p.m., police bring in 1 armored vehicle and then another, sandwiching Haskell's car for nearly 2 hours.
He held a gun to his head, so he does have an active dialogue that we now have turned over to the hostage negotiation team.
Then the dramatic conclusion, just before 10. Haskell gets out of his car, hands over his head, and police swoop in to finally end it.
LA County, and it's the LA County Sheriff's deputies who are the jurisdiction, the agency that manages this area, provides the police support. Part of the RAM. Yep. Through the stop sign there again. Oh yeah, he's been traveling at speeds of 50, 60 miles an hour plus. Now in a residential area. This is the Rosewood area here of LA County, or just a bit south of that park, that Irwin Johnson County Park here. Now making a turn again. It appears that the LA County Sheriff's deputies have backed off a bit. They're really concerned about the safety of all the pedestrians. He's been weaving in and out of traffic, against traffic here. And now actually moving with traffic. Oh, look at that. Wow, those pedestrians there so close. They got to put an end to this as quick as possible. But he's driving so erratically, at least, against traffic now. And you can see those LA County Sheriff's patrol cars are coming at him through the intersection. Northbound on Avalon now, Lisa. And to the right is that Irwin Magic Johnson County Recreation Area. He's going back into the park. Made a right turn from Avalon Boulevard into the park. This is an unincorporated area of LA County in the Rosewood, Willowbrook area, essentially just south of South Los Angeles, south of the 105 freeway, if you're not familiar with this area. Now he's just using the park path and the dirt path here to try to evade officers. We are trying to ascertain from our assignment desk, and if they have any information for me or for you, Lisa, if they can get in your ear, why this individual is being pursued. And we don't know that. All we're hearing is failure to yield. That's all we heard. And he keeps going back right here. That's where he kind of stopped. He slowed down right there, at least. That's what you were alluding to right there. And it looks like he continued on. Unclear if he knows somebody there. He wants to get to that location. We just don't know. And again, I always mention that a lot of times these suspects trying to run, they're so desperate, and they go to an area that they know or try to connect with somebody. Usually, not all the time, but they do have cell phones, and maybe they're calling a friend, somebody who might want to help them out, a family member. But obviously those family members, the right thing to do is tell him to stop, to not put anybody else in danger. And we don't know yet right now, Lisa, if anybody has been injured. The way he's been driving so erratically, it's very possible he may have collided with another car or hit a pedestrian. We don't have any of that information at this point. Now back onto the street. back northbound on Avalon Boulevard, Lee's traveling at a high rate of speed. Oh, here it goes. Almost a crash. Almost a collision there. Yeah, right through the intersection there. Heading up towards the 105 freeway. It does not appear there is a ramp here at Avalon so that he could enter the 105 if he chooses. But he's traveling northbound at a very high rate of speed. He is not stopping it. And there's the 105, crossing under the 105. There's the green line there that is in the center of the 105 freeway. He continues northbound up Avalon here, now into South Los Angeles. This erratic pursuit here. We heard about it on Scanner. You did ask. I'm sorry, Lisa. We heard about it just after 1 o'clock this morning. That's when we first picked it up. High speed on Imperial and Imperial Highway. I'll tell you what, Lisa, it is wide open. It parallels the 105 on the north side of the 105 freeway here through South Los Angeles. Then he will enter the community of Linwood. LA County Sheriff's deputies pursuing this suspect. Wow, losing control. He lost control there. Let's see what he tries to do. His car is smoking clearly. It does not look drivable. This is a dangerous situation. We'll see if he does put his hands out. So we're going to widen out here. LA County Sheriff's deputy. This is a really intense part. The officers, the sheriff's deputies are telling him clearly to put his or her hands outside, and we will see if it's just the one suspect in here. Tinted windows, dangerous situation. This is where very clear instructions will be given. Once again, this is on Imperial Highway, just north of the 105 freeway in the Willowbrook area here. So let's see what happens. Now his hands aren't, okay, the hands of that suspect needs to be visible. I can't tell, at least maybe you have a better monitor. I'm not sure if it's a male or female, but it looked like it possibly was a female driving the car here. We'll see. Opening up the door, guns drawn, Imperial Highway shut down. It does look like it's actually a male here. Stepping out, hands shown. Let's see what he does. He's got to lift those hands up. Put those hands high and turn around. That's what they're telling him right now. They do not want him to face the officer. They're going to tell him to walk backwards towards the officer. They're giving clear instructions here. These guys are trained. And this is a good point to watch this, Lise, that when we see what we've seen with police incidents across the country, this is how the LA County Sheriff's deputies do it. They give clear instructions here. If the suspect abides, which he is, he's down on his knees here. It looks like they're very well could be. Again, very tinted, dark tinted windows. So they're going to check the trunk. They're going to go around to the passenger side. Yeah, and it looks like a female officer. So that is, is that a female, Lise? Can you tell? We'll push in. I know he or she has a ponytail. And I did see a female officer pat the suspect down, and typically what happens is a female officer will do that if it is a female suspect. Let's widen out and make sure that we clear the car, Pat. We'll widen out. Car is clear. Code 4. Yep, it's a female, and that's why two female deputies checked to make sure that this individual, this woman, was not carrying any type of weapon. Wow, what a pursuit that was. I just hope, because we got on this about halfway through the pursuit, but you saw the damage to the car. You saw how erratic this driver was. This woman was driving. No, it was quite wild, especially through that park, through the Irwin Magic Johnson County Park there, up on the trails, the path. Thankfully, there was not a lot of foot traffic. A lot of people like to walk around the lake there, but it was pretty much empty on this Thursday morning, and again, Thursday afternoon, I should say. And again, we did not see anybody. We saw a lot of close calls. You saw those pedestrians get very close to being struck by this female driver. Again, we don't know specifically why she was lit up. All we heard was failure to yield. So maybe she was just driving erratically initially. They lit her up. She didn't pull over, and the pursuit was on. Just her inside the car. We're right on the border of Linwood and South Los Angeles here on Imperial Highway, just north of the 105 freeway here. And I'll try to get a better location out my window here for you.
right.
Overnight, a police chase shutting down Los Angeles Freeway 91, backing up traffic for hours.
This is getting very, very dangerous.
An attempted murder suspect leading police on a chase during rush hour.
It could get very desperate here.
Weaving in and out of traffic through multiple counties, slamming into cars along the way.
Okay, he did hit that car, made contact 2-3 cars, ripping the sides off, mirrors are flying.
Nearly a dozen patrol cars in pursuit of that black Mercedes. Police throw out a spike strip, but the suspect continues on. You can hear officers yelling at the driver. Tires all blown out, sparking, driving on rims.
You see the canines are coming out, the high-powered rifles are coming out, the shotgun's coming out. They are screaming commands at him to get out. But right now, this is the situation.
Police use a long pole to smash the rear window of the suspect's car. They drop in a canister of tear gas that sends the man fleeing from the car.